obviously mentioned Martin O'Neill, but for me, he's just about the only manager I can think of that could have galvanised this, not just the team, but Celtic as a club, to kind of persuade the Green Brigade to put everything behind them and look, let's just focus on it. It's been remarkable that he's managed to do it, and he's almost done it with two. We mentioned with two hands tied behind his back. January was terrible, and as I'm sitting here right now, I'm still thinking to myself, how did he do it? How has he pulled this off? I mean, it is remarkable that he's managed to win that league. I was like you, Mick. I was like, no chance this Celtic team wins 7 games. Maybe if Hearts and Rangers fold a bit. But no, 7 wins in a row. Just absolutely astonishing.
I think the unity in the stadium thing was maybe a double-edged sword. Martin O'Neill was clearly a big part of it, and he spoke about it quite a lot. But, he spoke about it the first time he was there earlier in the season, and it didn't change much. I think there was a sort of penny drop in realisation moment amongst the supporters that they're going to have to try and get behind the team because they're not going to get it done on their own. As Michael made the point there about the Dundee United game at Tannadice, it was a kind of watershed there. He thought, well, it's really not going to happen for Celtic. And I think the supporters kind of got the message that, do you know what, we're going to have to maybe just try and galvanise the team in some way, shape or form. I'm not denying for a fact that Martin O'Neill had a big part to do with that because he went on about it. But like I say, it didn't happen earlier in the season when he tried it. There was still, we were there in Paisley that night, Michael, when he pleaded, remember? The night Callum McGregor scored the goal in the injury time back in October, November time, the first time he was there, and he was kind of talking about it. It never really happened. I think, one of the games after, there was still protests and stuff. So I think it was a double-edged sword, but there's no doubt that the supporters did unify with the club towards the end of the season. Look at the results for that.
I think the Martin O'Neill effect, I don't think you underestimate it. And weirdly, not because of Martin O'Neill, the coach or tactician. I think that it's more the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, Martin O'Neill has got this. I mean, listen, I think at times this season the coaching has been a bit kind of confusing, a little bit kind of disjointed. I think you can see sometimes the kind of conflict behind the scenes because he admits himself that Sean Maloney and Mark Fotheringham and the guys don't see the game quite the same way as him. And there were times when I thought that you could tell on the pitch that the messages looked a bit confused and listen, all that. But what he brought was this aura and this sense that anything is possible with this guy around. And this wee guy from Northern Ireland who makes jokes and self-deprecating and half the squad don't understand what he's saying. But for something about him is that he's got this magical aura that good things seem to happen when he's about. And then, by the way, I think he did make tactical decisions towards the end of the season that were inspired. I mean, even at the weekend against Hearts, the substitutions, I think his game plan might not have been pretty. I think it was basically to stay in the game for 70 minutes and then chuck the kitchen sink at it. And he did, and he ends up with a back three with 2 full-backs and a back three. Exactly the formation that Wilfred Nonsi had for his madness. Just to put the tin hat on it, he went all Wilfred Nonsi in the last 10 minutes against Hearts to win the league. But it was just brilliant. But he certainly brings that aura. He asks every player. He gives them a sense of they've been 10 feet tall, and he has created that magic dust that he's managed to sprinkle around this squad to get them over the line. And a season that probably didn't expect or not saying deserve. That's not the right word. Could do deserve it, but I mean, in a regular season, finishing with 82 points would probably see them about 10 points behind the leaders. If it usually the Rangers, but that case, if it was the other way around. If it was Celtic, usually 90-odd points. I mean, we wouldn't really be in that position. So we're fortunate that the other two were knocking each other, not bells each other as well, which meant the points were reduced this year. But you can't put it. I mean, you cannot knock him for what he's done this year. He's galvanised an entire club, and I get why others go. He's just a legend. He's an absolute Celtic legend.
It's also brilliant to downplay it, Michael. I mean, before you get your first joke of the day in about my age, where ageism. I do remember being in the press room the day when Celtic beat Rangers 6-2 in his first term, and he said Rangers are still the benchmark.
Yeah, famous, wasn't it?
The first thing he said when everybody was losing their heads about, this is it, this is the day when everything's changing for Celtic. Oh no, Rangers are still the benchmark. And he maintained it the whole way through the season, despite the fact Celtic were miles clear, and he constantly did it through this running. Yeah. Even after Celtic beat Rangers a couple of Sundays ago, it's still mountains to climb. Still mountains to climb. They won it for Motherwell are a great team. oh, we're still underdogs in it. You just played it that way the whole way through. Obviously, the total opposite of what he was saying behind closed doors in the dressing room, but you just get that way that you always just seem to just make it seem unlikely. Just keep it under a lid on it for Celtic all the way through. He's brilliant at doing that. Great at doing that.
He is. He's just got something. He's just got something about him, hasn't he? He's just got something. I think, especially at Celtic. I mean, this is just seems to be where he just comes to life, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's that wily and just knowing what to say and when to say it. I mean, like we heard earlier in the season in his first stint when Danny Roll decided to have a little mention of what team Martin O'Neill had picked in Stuttgart, and was it Stuttgart? Have I got that right? Is that the right game?
It was Stuttgart.
The wee leg
question, and I thought you're thinking, you could tell even in Martin's face that day, Michael. I think you were there that day, and you think, oh really? Oh, is that so? It's like certain things you don't say, and that's just being at the block and having been there and knowing what to say and when to say it when you're in the city of Glasgow, and you can't smiling at the end.
No, I think Danny Rule lived to regret that, because obviously then he gets taken to school 3 times against the old timer. Obviously the 2 back-to-back games at Ibrox and then again at Parkhead. But I mean, it just shows you he's an old master. He knows how to play the game, how to play the media, how to get the message across. He's just an old master. He really is. But yeah, it's just it's an incredible tale, really. I mean, who'd have thought, but at the start of the season, they were sitting watching Martin O'Neill holding up the Premiership trophy.
Nah, never in a million years.
Casted away for suggesting that.